What up, Sister Magala here, the Reverend of the Revolution. Welcome to your Daily Revolution. Today's topic, does it really take money to make money? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right. Like this is a phrase. First of all, welcome to the podcast, Your Daily Revolution. If you haven't listened to any of the other episodes, go download them now. But I'm coming to you live from Southern California where the sun is shining, the skies are blue, and dang it, I love where we live, man. Great people, great energy, and I want to leave you a really powerful podcast today. Does it really take money to make money? So this is how this all goes down. Look, I used to have this thought too. It takes money to make money. And look, there's truth in there and there's no truth in there. Like the answer is, well, it just depends. You see, if you are on the bottom and you are broker than a joker, and I have been there before, then it does not take money to make money. Nope, doesn't take money to make money. As you level up and as you grow and as you rise and you get out of the abyss, out of the pit, out of the rock bottom basement, now the game changes. Yeah, it will take some money to make some money. And even that's not necessarily true. So let me give you some background. Listen, when people say that it takes some money to make money, what they're referring to is this concept that the only way that I can make money is that I have to have money. And you and I both know that's not true. Let me break this down for you. See, there's 5 types of capital. I call this my capitals training, not the capital of like the capital of a state, but capital as in capital, capital, like money. So this is how this works, okay? Check this out. First capital is what I call spiritual capital. Spiritual capital are your God-given gifts and talents, right? You are unique to these things. Michael Jordan, like one of the greatest basketball players of all time. We're not going to talk about the GOAT, who that is, but he is one of the best, and in my opinion, definitely the GOAT. His spiritual capital was not football or baseball. His natural talent took him to basketball. You see, that was his spiritual, I call it spiritual, but the natural talent capital. See, every one of us has spiritual capital. We have unique abilities and specific talents that are very true to us. For me, put me on a stage, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Whether it's 500, 5,000, 50,000, don't matter. I will control the room. I will own the stage. I will touch those lives. I will entertain, educate. Like I will do it all because it's just very natural for me. And I love it. Same goes for a piano and a mic. Put me on a piano and a mic. I'm going to sing. So I know what my gifts and talents are. My question for you is, what are your gifts? What are your talents? What are the unique abilities that are just so natural for you that other people would say, dude, that's amazing. And you're like, oh, that's just every day. That's easy. First capital, spiritual capital. Second type of capital that exists is what I call relationship capital. Now, what is this relationship capital? It's about the people who know you. There's a phrase that says it's not what you know, it's who you know. And it's very true in the business world. It's just very true in any world. It's not what you know, it's who you know and who knows you. One of the greatest resources we have today are people. Not the people who know us. People who can pull strings for us. People who can hook us up. People who can make introductions, connections. For example, I reached out to a man who's a high-ticket closer. Lives in Idaho, does a lot of hunting. Last name Grizzle, first name Closer. And I reach out to him because I'm like, hey, I've got this thing. I'm looking for some closers on the phone. And he says, man, that's not my gig, but I can connect you to someone who can help you. Can I make an introduction? I'm like, absolutely. He makes the introduction. I reach out to this individual and I'm about to have a conversation with him. It's not just about having money. See, one of the great resources is the unique abilities and talents that you've been given. And along with those unique abilities, what I call spiritual capital, you have to develop those talents. You got to hone and craft them and put time, energy, and repetition into those talents. The relationship capital, guess what? It's the same thing. Whatever you water is going to grow. So this is why networking taking care of people, reaching out, staying in touch, building these relationships that matter, it goes a long ways. So spiritual capital, relationship capital, these are types of resources that begin to create other types of capital. Okay. The other type of capital is intellectual capital. So spiritual capital, relationship capital, intellectual capital. Well, what is this intellectual capital? You're going to have ideas. You're going to have thoughts. You're going to have some strokes and flashes of inspiration. If you think about everything that we have today, somebody had this, what we call intellectual capital. They had thoughts and ideas. They had inspiration. What are some of the thoughts and ideas that you have that you don't ever act on? What are some of the ideas that you have that later on you would see, you're like, oh my gosh, that was my idea 2 years ago, and now somebody is making like $1 bajillion off of my idea. You ever had that happen to you before? You have a thought, you're like, man, that would make a big difference in the marketplace. That would solve someone's problem. This would be an amazing business. And then you don't do anything with it because laziness or fear or just like, having no certainty and confidence in yourself. Intellectual capital is what brought us the iPhone. It's what brought us the PC, iMacs. It's what brought us, the windows in cars. You press a button and it automatically rolls up. Look, I have someone who I know who still has to roll their window up, like using their arm. But someone had the capacity to exercise this intellectual capital and tap into it, connected with the relationship capital, someone they could talk to, get connected with other people, and spiritual capital, utilizing these gifts and talents that are very unique to you. Now, there's the first three capitals. The fourth capital is what I call action capital. Action capital. Yes, my friends, it doesn't take money to make money. It takes action capital coupled with intellectual capital, coupled with spiritual capital, coupled with relationship capital. Action capital is rubber on the road, hustle in the muscle, action, movement, doing what's required. So if you've got relationship, spiritual, and you've got intellectual capital, the way you bring those together is what's called action capital. Like action is the thing that begins to move the world. When one is committed, one takes action. When one takes action or does what's required, they alter their behaviors, and the behaviors are what you focus on and you do because you do what you said you would do. You rock the world. Now, I want you to notice this to my friends who think, oh, it takes money to make money. It takes you to have the courage to be in action, the courage that what type of action? Reaching out to have conversations, reaching out for all the free resources out there that can get you started, utilizing these free resources and books and podcasts to build your intellectual capital, to grow and to hone and to mine this spiritual capital, your talents, to build your relationship capital, the people who know you and the people that you know, and connections and networking. And when you put these four capitals together, guess what you get? The fifth capital, which is financial capital. Yes, my friends. It doesn't take money to make money in the beginning. Now, ultimately and inevitably, if you want to grow, you've got to really go get the financial capital. Now, let me give you an example. In 2003, I came out of the NFL and I was broker than a joker, living in my mama's basement, looking at my Super Bowl ring and my college degree. I was like, what in the world am I going to do with my life? I had no money. I was out of money. Like the money went fast, spent it all, spent it on stupid things. And I had no money to get started. So I took an opportunity with my action capital, took action, reached out to relationships of people that I knew. A guy got me into the mortgage industry. I went to someone else and asked them for a little bit of money to help get my license. And I just sat at my buddy's desk and watched him do mortgages. And I copied him. And I used my spiritual capital, intellectual capital, coupled with action capital, taking action, using relationship capital. And that produced, financial capital. And as I began to make money in 2004, I doubled down. I took the money that I'd earned, I hired a consultant, and then he went, what I paid him, which I thought back then was just a large amount of money, paid him, and I made my money back in 3 weeks. And everything after that was just cherry on a top, icing on the cake. Next example. So I go make a ton of money with mortgages, and the crash and the collapse happens. And then in 2011, I am once again broker than a joker. And this time the crash was big. Like, we went from lots of money, an enormous amount of money, to no money. And 2011, I'm being recruited for my spiritual capital, my intellectual capital, and my ability to implement action capital. I had zero financial capital, no money. And this guy recruited me. And I didn't have any money. And I went, and you ready? I went and hustled my butt off. I was a killer, and like Kobe Bryant, I was a stone cold killer. I implemented action capital, like with the sauce, with Nas, with caffeine, whatever, steroids. Like, I was just on, like, I'm going to work. That's all I did. And my action capital combined with my spiritual capital, like my natural gifts and talents that I'd honed and perfected and with repetition, put together with intellectual capital and all this study, and then relationship capital. Look, relationship capital is what got me the job. Someone knew me, and they kept recruiting me, and they were on me. Those four capitals, spiritual, intellectual, relationship, action, they helped me to produce, drum roll, financial capital. So there's just some examples of it doesn't take money. Like, if you have no money, don't use that as an excuse. Oh, I don't have money. I can't do anything. Money's not always the thing that's going to solve the real problem. Sometimes it makes the problem worse because you don't realize how unskilled you are, or you haven't been exposed enough. When you run out of money, it can really expose where you're weak. And some people, they lack this action capital muscle. They don't know how to work. They don't know how to reach out for help. They don't know how to ask the right questions, principle 6. So those are 5 capitals. Now, what does this mean to you? Where in your life can you go utilize one of the 4 that would produce financial capital? A relationship, a phone call, showing up to network with people, taking action on some of the ideas that you already have or some of the things that you already know. I mean, come on, like, that's what is going on. Action capital puts relationship, spiritual, intellectual capital to work. And when you put those 4 together, you get financial capital. So, like, if you want to make money, go utilize the capitals to create financial capital. Now, if this has been useful and helpful, share this on. Utilize it, implement it, apply it, and join us at our next event called Pro Rev Live right in Dallas. Check it out, Pro Rev Live, PROREVLIVE.com, and I can't wait to see you on the next podcast. Have an awesome day, my friends. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.